Alright, peace, Kate. Peace, peace, peace. So, welcome. This is going to be a reading. And so, we're just going to be looking at your sun and your moon today. And so, interestingly, you feel what I'm saying, you have your sun in Leo, but that's not so interesting as the fact that you have your sun in the 12th house. You feel what I'm saying? And so, the planets, in astrology, right? Astrologically speaking, the sun is a planet, right? So, the sun or the planets, this signifies a different function. You feel what I'm saying? And in this case, the sun, it deals with the ego, the identity, and the individuality. And ultimately how you express yourself out into the world. You feel what I'm saying? And so, the sign, it ultimately signifies how you do that. And so with you having your sun in Leo, it's an indication that there is a healthy nature about the way and how you express yourself out into the world, you feel what I'm saying? And I say out into the world, but like you have your sun in the 12th house. Now, like I said, the sun or the planet deals with what you're doing, the sign deals with how you're doing it, and then the house deals with where you're doing it, you feel what I'm saying? Where you're doing it. And so the the 12th house, it's naturally associated with Pisces, you feel me? And it's a house, the house of the unconscious mind, you feel me, and the inner world. So with you having your sun in the 12th house, it's an indication that in this lifetime your primary focus is meant to be directed inwardly, you feel me, and it's those internal energies within you that you need to get familiar with and you need to utilize to produce your identity, you feel me? And so, like Pisces, the 12th house, it also deals with dreams, and visions and aspirations, and ultimately, when the sun goes into the 12th house, it is of great importance in the value that this individual has dreams, because it's like Pisces is a dualistic sign, it's a dual sign, and it's because it's a feminine sign, it's more inclined towards anxiety and expressing negatively than positively. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like simultaneously with your sun being in the 12th house, the house associated with Pisces, it can produce dreams, but simultaneously it can produce nightmares too, you feel me? Worrisome energy and like fear-orientated energy, you feel what I'm saying? Because so the 12th house, it's a house that deals with like imprisonment, and restriction and limitations. And so with that being said, and I feel like I should probably talk about your moon a little bit also right now, because see, like you have your sun in this placement where it's kind of like self-sacrificial, and where in reality what you are here to do and what you're supposed to get into is learn how to give onto yourself to others, you feel what I'm saying? Because that's what Pisces very much deals with. It deals with serving and giving yourself onto others, being selfless and ultimately caring, you feel what I'm saying? But then it's like you also have your moon in Capricorn, but it's within the second decan of Capricorn, and this is the decan of martyrdom, and these are the martyrs, that so it's like they're like I'm trying to articulate it in a manner where I find a way to give you insight into the equilibrium you should draw to yourself, you feel me? Because it's like with your moon being in Capricorn, it's an indication that one way or another your whole life you've kind of had to sacrifice and kind of put yourself in the back burner and do for others, you feel what I'm saying? And not holistically or completely feel like others do unto you, you feel me, the way you do unto them. So with the sun, being in your 12th house, and with the 12th house, dealing with the unconscious mind, it deals with your personal mind, it deals with your subconscious mind, but also deals with the unconscious mind, you feel me? With this energy here, it can even produce sort of energies where it's like you may be invisible to others. You feel me? Like when the sun goes into the 12th house, it can produce an effect where it's like you may feel like through life you kind of move in the background. Maybe like even in your family life you aren't always holistically known or seen. But I also want to say this, because the 12th house deals with the unconscious mind and your subconscious mind. You know, these are individuals, and also because the 12th house, it's so close to the first house. These are individuals who can express great authenticity, you know, and who can truly be themselves, right? And with you having the Leo energy also, it's an indication of having a great sense of self and identity, you feel me? But with it being in the 12th house, it's an indication that your self-image and your identity deals with your unconscious mind. And so with that being said, like for you, you would tremendously benefit, you know, from learning about your unconscious mind and acquiring tools, psychological tools, if what I'm saying, and learning how to cultivate and develop your own self-image rather than just continue to operate in the world with the self-image that you received and you attracted as a result of the collective conscious, you feel what I'm saying? So this house, you know, the 12th house, it is a very interconnected house, you feel me? It's the last house, so it deals with everything and just connections. And so individuals with the sun in the 12th house, you feel me, they are very receptive to other energies and other influences. And so at times, you feel me, with this placement, because it's a water house, you know, it can deal with feelings and emotions, and it can deal with like you picking up on certain emotions and feelings that are not even yours. But it's like, because you're operating, you know, unconsciously, you may think that you're depressed and you're sad and all these other things, but it's like you're just picking up on the suffering of the world, you know, and it's like the suffering of the world becomes your suffering. So it's like consciousness is of great importance, and becoming aware is of great importance. Becoming aware of the unknown, becoming aware of your mind, becoming aware of your inner world, you know, like the ways in which so with your moon being in Capricorn, it's an indication that you went through mad, hella restrictive experiences growing up, you know. So the moon is in the sign Capricorn, the sign of Saturn. And so Saturn is a planet that deals with poverty. And so this doesn't just have to be materialistic poverty, you feel me? But it's like, I didn't look too deep into your chart, but let's say like you had certain aspects from Saturn, you know, if like your moon was aspecting Saturn, then likeliness of poverty may be real. But ultimately, when the moon goes into Capricorn, this just indicates a impoverishness when it comes to nurturing and loving and caring energy, like not having not having gone through that, you know, as a child. Like maybe growing up as a child, you may have had everything you wanted, you know, materialistically, but you never got the love and caring, nurturing energies that every child needs, you know. And the moon dealing with the mother, you feel what I'm saying? It may indicate that they may not have had those experiences. And, you know, I'll even go as far as to say, but I'm not too sure about this, you feel what I'm saying? Because it is, your sun is in Leo. So the moon in the chart deals with the mother and the influences that the mother gave, you know, because ultimately it's your mother that kind of instills within you how you see like yourself and how you nourish and nurture yourself. Like your mother typically influences you more emotionally, but then your father typically guides and directs you towards your purpose, you feel what I'm saying? So that's why the sun is the father and the moon is the mother. So, you know, with your sun being in the 12th house, this can be an indication that like it's a possibility even that your father may not have been there. Like yeah, I'll leave it at that. He might not have been there. Or even if he was there, you may have felt isolated and alone, you feel what I'm saying, and just not understood. Because that's very much what the 12th house is also. It deals with isolation and loneliness and a lone type of energy, you feel what I'm saying. But ultimately, with this energy, you should also know that. So Leo deals with rulership. You feel me? And you have Leo in the sun, in the deacon of Leo rulership, because you were born in the first 10 days of Leo, and I think you were born July 27th, 26th. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, you're like truly a Leo. You feel me? This is the Leo deacon, and this is just holistically ruled by the sun. And so the sun deals with power, right? It deals with rulership. And so for you, what you need to learn to master is your internal realm. And I keep saying that. And so one thing I would highly recommend is getting into spirituality. Having it be that you're in this, you're into astrology. I would assume you're also one way or another spiritual. You feel what I'm saying? But also seeing that your moon is in Capricorn, it's an indication that you have had many experiences throughout your life that have molded you and shaped you more so towards the practical aspect of things, you know, being more grounded in this world, more practical. And like with moon in Capricorn, it can even be an indication that you were exposed to just how cold this world can be, you feel what I'm saying? And you know, being the sign of martyrdom, right? And you know what it means to be a martyr, right? To like give onto yourself continuously, and do things to benefit others, but simultaneously harm yourself. So it's like, yeah, it's interesting though, because it's the same thing with the 12th house and your moon. So they're both here. And so what I would highly recommend is you getting into learning to work with your emotions and learning to bring your emotions to the surface, is what I'm saying. See, the moon, it is debilitated when it's in Capricorn. The moon does not do well in Capricorn. It's very restricted and it's limited in a way, like it's others who dictate and tell you how to feel. Like you may not have gotten the opportunity to truly feel and express your emotions, you feel what I'm saying, with the moon being in Capricorn. And so the moon is in the 5th house and your sun is in Leo. The 5th house is the house of Leo, you feel me? And so one thing I would say is, I don't know if you may not have kids, you may have kids, but you're pretty young, so I assume you don't. But with the moon in the 5th house and in the sign Capricorn, you know, I would recommend that before you do go about having kids, to make sure that you have your own affairs in line, in the sense that materialistically you're grounded in your structure, you feel me? Because Saturn rules your 5th house. And so the 5th house is the house of offsprings. Hold on, let me look to double check that Saturn is ruling over your 5th house. So, no, Saturn is not ruling over your 5th house. Jupiter is ruling over your 5th house. Jupiter is ruling over your 5th house. But the majority of your 5th house is in the sign Capricorn. So, damn. Hold on, I gotta look at, to really paint an image, I gotta look at some details. But yeah, you know, actually I stand by what I said earlier, you know what I'm saying? Ensuring that you have, materially, you have a great foundation and a great structure, you feel what I'm saying, before you give birth to kids, you feel what I'm saying? Because with this Saturnian influence over your 5th house, children can come to be more of a responsibility, how heavy you know, I just gotta say it like it is, a heavy burden rather than a joyous expression, you feel what I'm saying, with the 5th house being here. So yeah, that's one thing I feel would be some good advice for me to give you. But yeah, you know, another thing is the 5th house, it deals with expression, and Leo also deals with expression. And so with you having your sun in Leo in this 12th house, it's important that you get into art, you feel me, and you get into ways of expressing yourself. Draw, make music, dance, you know, especially dancing, you know what I'm saying? And just allow yourself to, yeah, express yourself creatively. And earlier I was talking about spirituality, and so what it is that because your sun is in the 12th house, spirituality becomes of great importance. And it's like the more spiritual you become, the more you can tap into your higher self, your higher natures, your more spiritual natures, the more purposeful you will feel as an individual. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's what the sun is. It's your purpose. So the more you can align with your inner world, your soul, etc., the more purposeful you will feel. I also want to say this, you know, the 12th house, it deals with hidden, it does deal with hidden enemies, but I wasn't going to talk about that. It deals with hidden enemies, like, because the 8th house deals with open enemies, but the 12th house is like enemies that are like in disguise, you know, they come and they pretend like they're friends, but they're really not your friends. But you know, we'll get deeper into that if you choose to like work with me and get into a full reading, you know, and really go in depth. But for now, I what I actually wanted to talk about was the past. You feel what I'm saying? So the 12th house is a house that deals with baggage. It deals with sorrows. I'm pretty sore. It deals with baggage. It deals with sorrow. You feel what I'm saying? And so, what's of importance here is that you learn to deal with your past, and you learn to release certain restrictions and boundaries within yourself. You feel what I'm saying? And it's a lot, you know, like I can't really go all the way into deep into it, you know, with this mini reading. So yeah, but I would like to. So if you're interested in booking a full reading with me and going deeper with me, I would be more than happy to do it for you. And I only charge $30, you know, because right now I'm still cultivating my craft, you know, and I'm actually doing what I'm doing because I got into astrology, and the more I learn my chart, the more I learned that I have natural abilities for astrology. You feel what I'm saying? I'm really a teacher. Like when I look at my chart, I'm really a teacher, and I'm meant to teach occult information. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, I think that's it. And one thing that I'll leave you with is that you have Mercury, fucking Venus. You have Venus as your most prominent planet, but so Venus is the planet of, she deals with like your social encounters, your relationships. You know what I'm saying? She deals with art, the way you express yourself artistically, the way you enjoy yourself, and the way you extract pleasure from society and life. And so Venus is in the first house, but Venus is in Virgo. So this means that there's a debilitation, a hardship and a restriction when it comes to you and people and the way that you enjoy yourself. And there may be a energy, especially with the moon in Capricorn, of playing too much and not having fun, you know, like a need, my bad, what the heck, I meant to say working, like, because both Virgo and Capricorn, you know, working too much and being overly burdened by responsibilities and like not allowing or not even knowing how to enjoy yourself and have fun, is what I'm saying. So yeah, that's your moon, that's your Venus in Virgo. But yeah, so like I said earlier, I would definitely highly recommend you booking a full reading with me, you know, and us going deeper and me really breaking this information down to you, if what I'm saying. Like I'm already going 20 minutes, you know, so you're welcome. But if you're interested, you know, it's not mandatory or anything like that. You don't have to, but it's just something I would recommend, you know. But yeah, without further ado, peace. You have a beautiful, blessed day. Namaste. And also, do me a favor, subscribe to this YouTube channel. It's my YouTube channel, and I upload, you know, all types of great content on here. So definitely subscribe. Peace.